These are the 10 types of players that you will encounter in World of Warcraft. In all my years playing this game, everybody, I have learned something, and that is that you most certainly should judge a book by its cover, because that guy in your group, the one with the completely pink transmog wearing the bunny ears, yeah, he's gonna wipe your entire Mythic Plus group and completely waste your time. From the role player who has a frickin' novel for his backstory, to the guy who thinks that his store mount somehow makes him look cool. Today, I'm going to be talking to you all about all the kinds of players you're going to encounter in Azeroth. So let's get started with number 10, the Hopeless Addict. It was just another Tuesday when this fella decided to pick up for himself World of Warcraft from his local game store. He didn't think anything of it at the time. It was just another video game to indulge in whenever he got a little free time. But quickly, he realized something. World of Warcraft was different, and it was going to be a lot more than just a game for him. 10 years passed, 15 years, then suddenly 20, and he found himself staring at his computer screen, still playing this same accursed game. And he justifies his many years of playing World of Warcraft with arguments of how, it's his way to connect with his friends. That the game, it gives him an escape from the difficulties of his career and his nagging wife, or, just whatever else his mind can conjure up on the day. But in reality, my friends, this man is hopelessly addicted. He kind of both loves and hates World of Warcraft. In the same way that Smeagol both loved and hated the One Ring, Blizzard has possessed him. Maybe World of Warcraft makes him feel safe. Maybe it does give him a place of refuge from the difficulties of life. Either way, it's obvious that he will be there the day that Blizzard shuts the servers down. And when that happens, who knows where this man will go next in his life. Number 9, the guy who just really hates Blizzard. Okay, so now on the opposite end of the spectrum, we've got this guy. He plays World of Warcraft, but he absolutely hates Blizzard Entertainment. He is a contradiction, okay? And he's fully aware of it, but he just no-life plays World of Warcraft almost each and every day, and yet during his time playing the game, and even outside of it, all he can do is talk non-stop smack about how terrible Blizzard is as a gaming company. He will argue that Blizzard, they're not the company that they used to be, that they're nothing but a greedy corporation nowadays, milking its audience for everything that they've got. He hates all the new expansions that come out for the game. He doesn't find any enjoyment out of playing Classic WoW or Season of Discovery or Hardcore, and don't get him started. Ladies and gentlemen, do not get this guy started on how frickin' woke World of Warcraft has become with its homosexual characters and references to transgenderism and its hyper-feminization. And you might be sitting there wondering, why does this guy not just go and play another game? Maybe he too is a hopeless addict, but he claims that he isn't. Instead, he sees himself almost like a prophet or a doomsayer or just this preacher that is explaining to the whole World of Warcraft. He's trying to argue to the community that Blizzard Entertainment is the devil, always finding a way to ruin the game further and take from each and every one of you your $15 a month. And yet, he will still keep paying that $15 a month himself. For those of us that observe this type of player, we can't help but look at him and see him as someone who is he's kind of performing a type of self-harm. He hates the very thing he's participating in, and yet he doesn't walk away from it. Number 8, the role player. Okay, so we've started this video out by talking about two people that, kind of are the negative side of the community a little bit. But now, let's talk about the type of player that you will encounter that absolutely loves World of Warcraft. And that person, my friends, is the role player. People who roleplay in World of Warcraft absolutely love the game for the world that Blizzard has constructed. They love all the different races and classes. They consume the lore with delight, and every day they log into the game looking forward to crafting a new unofficial story in Azeroth using their character and their guildmates. The role player, he's the type of gamer, he creates his own content for World of Warcraft, and he often surprises you with his degree of passion for the game. These are the people creating the most incredible fan arts for the game, movies made in the game engine. They are the ones creating incredible add-ons to enhance the immersive quality of World of Warcraft. And the role players, they are some of the most friendly people that you will meet that play the game. At least most of them are. Because, you know, between you and me, there's also some people who roleplay in video games, and they simply do it for the drama and the politics because, my goodness, they watched way too much Game of Thrones back in the day. Now, I would argue that the role player is the one type of World of Warcraft player that is probably having the most fun playing this game, but I think that that would be wrong because role players don't exactly have a mission or a purpose other than to just have some fun in the game and tell some stories. But there is one player who is later on in this list whose entire existence is changing the World of Warcraft forever, but we're going to talk about him soon. Number 7. The obsessive collector. There are some people that would argue that World of Warcraft has become nothing but a dumb collector's game nowadays. It's not about an amazing journey or story or even uniting with your fellow allies of Azeroth and conquering giant dragons and monsters and stuff. Nah, dude. Like, some would say that the whole purpose of this game nowadays is just to collect some transmogs, some mounts, and some pets. And of course, 99.9% of it all just being garbage that's going to gather dust on your UI screens, never to be used. And some would argue that that's a terrible thing. And then there's this guy, the obsessive collector type player. This is the type of gamer who wants the game to be like this. He don't care about raiding or role-playing or lore or stories. Bro, this guy, he just loves collecting new things. Be they suits of armor, mounts, pets, furniture for his player house, whatever else. In real life, this guy don't have very much. He probably lives in a minimalist like apartment or something. But in World of Warcraft, this dude's got everything. They have almost every single achievement point that the game offers. You look at their player homes in Midnight and you're blown away by what they've been able to build. Even their outfits, like the transmogs they wear, they leave you in awe because you don't even know where half their armor even came from. These guys must work in like management or something behind the scenes. And speaking of collecting in World of Warcraft, if you want to check out Zygor, World of Warcraft's ultimate add-on for getting gear upgrades and new mounts and new pets and leveling faster or getting more gold, I have a link down below in the description, which is a fantastic way to support this channel. That is, if you decide to check out Zygor after exploring their free trial. Number 6, the private server evangelist. As I was making this list and I was thinking about that guy who really hates Blizzard Entertainment, I was reminded of another type of player, the private server evangelist, who's like a mutation of the Blizzard hating WoW player. The difference, though, between the private server evangelist and the guy that hates Blizzard is that at least the private server dude stands by his word and doesn't actually play official World of Warcraft. Now, for whatever reason, could be the sexual harassment lawsuits filed against Blizzard, the breast milk incidents, the Cosby suites, the terrible expansions, the person believing that modern Blizzard is too woke or whatever, the private server evangelist, this guy, will not, under any circumstances, give Blizzard Entertainment a single dollar from out of his wallet. Instead, he will choose to play on a laggy, buggy, sometimes even horrendously scummy private server whose greed rivals that of Blizzard Entertainment themselves. And when you encounter these types of players, probably on YouTube or on forums or social media, these guys are everywhere. They are always going to be quick to remind you that if you play official World of Warcraft, you are playing a filthy, disgusting, inferior version of the game. Private servers, they have way more content. Their teams have way more passion. Their custom lore is better written. The gameplay is more engaging, and on and on and on and on it goes. This person will argue tooth and nail about how their private servers are better than Blizzard's official realms, even as the news is coming out that the head admin of their precious private server has been stealing donation money out from under the table instead of using it to make the server better. Number 5. The classic WoW Andy. It isn't that he hates the modern game, ladies and mostly gentlemen. He just thinks that it isn't Warcraft enough. The classic Andy, he's somebody that he grew up playing Warcraft 1, 2, and 3, classic WoW, TBC, and Wrath, and that's where his heart forever lies. He delights in old Warcraft and its original vibe, always choosing instead to play that version of the game instead of whatever it is that Blizzard is constructing today. And that would be harmless, but sometimes this Andy is a little bit annoying. He's kind of like the private server evangelist, but at least he still is a fan of Blizzard, and he isn't indulging in any sort of weird self-harm by playing the game because he actually enjoys it, and he wishes that more people understood the classic WoW game is the best version of the game. They tend to believe that there is this objectively correct way to have fun, which is why they will debate you about how classic WoW is objectively a better game than the modern game. Yeah, sure, modern World of Warcraft has better graphics and more mechanics and more things to do, but classic WoW, it's more about the adventure, the journey. It builds a stronger community, and because everything has to be worked for 10 times more, the sense of accomplishment and achievement is all the greater. There are certainly a lot of classic Andys and retail Andys that are subscribed to this YouTube channel. Yes, I do see you guys in my comment sections, and it is appreciated, you guys lending your voices to these discussions that we have about World of Warcraft. Number 4, the tasteful gooner. I was debating on whether or not I should have this player on the list, but I think that there are so many of them nowadays that it would actually be kind of weird if I didn't have them in this video. This is somebody that is usually a type of role player that has gone wrong. A type of player who is not playing the game for the lore or the gameplay or the community. Instead, they're playing it to just goon out. The moment that this person first saw Night Elf female hips, the smug bitchy look on Blood Elf faces, or the Draenei tail, they knew exactly where they needed to be. And that is in this game, usually in Goldshire, a part of the underbelly of the community, trading Rule 34 images of elves and space goats. These people pay monthly to play World of Warcraft, but when they're online, they don't actually play the game. Now, these people will of course claim that they are huge fans of the lore and the gameplay and all that stuff, but I think it's safe to say that in reality, these types of players only play this game because they are just enchanted by the fantasy of drinking vodka after it's run down Xalatath's feet. Number 3, the whale. Thar She Blows, everybody. This is the player that Blizzard Entertainment loves more than anybody else in the community. This is the guy that every single time Blizzard puts out a new product on the cash shop, this dude, he just quickly makes himself the first to consume it. If there's a new mount on the store, he's going to quickly buy it. He's going to stand in the middle of Stormwind. He's going to show it off to everybody who's passing through the trade district. This guy is just the corruption of the obsessive collector. He just can't resist getting everything in the game that has an additional price tag attached to it because he knows that it makes him special. And it makes him special in ways that aren't even necessarily good. He knows that there is a large majority of the player base that absolutely hates the cash shop in World of Warcraft, probably many of you watching this video, and you want it removed from the game, and you get angry at players like this guy who purchases all this stuff and is willingly taken advantage of by Blizzard Entertainment. He knows that people are looking down on him. He knows that they would spam /spit if they could on his character, but he actually likes it. He likes the fact that people are talking about him, even if it's in the negative. He likes the idea that he is the person that Blizzard Entertainment most wants to please. Not because of who he is, but because he's got a deep wallet. Number 2, the filthy casual. There is a lot of people who play this game today that are just absolutely obsessed with the meta. They want you to have the exact builds that are posted over on Icy Veins. They will yell at you if your rotation is not perfect, and if you miss a single interrupt, you will be kicked from their group and you will be called garbage. But compared to the greater World of Warcraft community, these players are few and far between. Because the majority of the WoW player base, most people are just filthy casuals. The filthy casual is probably someone like you, who plays this game simply for fun and doesn't treat it as a math assignment for school. The filthy casual doesn't care about always topping the DPS chart, having the most optimal gear or gems, and they most certainly don't spend all their time on websites learning which talents to select and which buttons to press for an optimal game experience. These players, They choose what talents they want. They play whatever class most suits their fancy, and they level at their own pace in the game, even if it puts them way behind other people that take the game way more seriously than they do. I think that the filthy casual is the player who, they've not forgotten that the objective purpose of a video game is entertainment, and that the moment that the entertainment stops, there's no reason to play the game anymore. And I think that in some ways, the filthy casual, they look down on that meta-obsessed, very miserable player in the same way that the meta-obsessed player looks down on the filthy casual. And now, before I reveal the number one, everybody, I just wanted to say thank you all for making it this far in the video. And if you're enjoying it, just be sure to hit that subscribe button and like it for the algorithm. Anyway, let's talk about number one, the war in Warcraft player. Remember when I said that there was a person who plays this game that is probably having the most fun playing it? It's this guy. He's not the hero that we deserve, but my goodness, is he the hero that we need right now. For years, Blizzard Entertainment has been trying to remove the war in Warcraft more and more to make the game less intimidating and more approachable to all types of gamers. And this has horribly backfired, however, since it not only violates simple rules of marketing, but it has dramatically harmed the Warcraft spirit over the years. And then there's that one guy, that one player, that stands up to Blizzard Entertainment and refuses. There are few of them, but they are the Chad PvP players that have gotten so sick of all the working together nonsense that they are now determined to put the war back in Warcraft. War mode is always on. If it's red, it is dead. They gank without mercy, without pity, nor do they show any remorse. They actually want to track down Blizzard developers questing and doing whatever in the open world, and they want to camp their bodies for hours on ends until that Blizzard dev gets so angry and gets in a mode of so much hatred for the enemy faction, they can't help but sneak more animosity back into the lore. And that is exactly what the war in Warcraft PvPer wants to see. And perhaps one day he believes World of Warcraft will return to the epic story of battles and conflicts that used to inspire so many people. And that, everybody, is 10 types of players that you will encounter in World of Warcraft today. Is there anybody that I missed? If I did, let me know down in the comment section below. And if you want to watch another top 10 countdown, I have 10 types of classic WoW players on your screen right now. Or you can watch this ranking WoW classes from worst to best video if you're ready to finally understand which class in WoW reigns supreme.